Hey y'all, it is iDizzy81 wanting to talk to you about stability issues with multiplayer portions of game once a game has been released. And over the past month or so, games such as the Master Chief Collection, Warlords of Draenor, the expansion to World of Warcraft, Drive Club, Assassin's Creed Unity, and even back in September we had Destiny. All of these games were released and they had some kind of stability issue with the multiplayer portion of the game. And really all you have to do is go to your nearest forum to see everybody bitching and moaning about the game that they want to play and the multiplayer portion not working. Why are these stability issues happening? How come this isn't working? Why didn't the developer have this ready in time? Bitching and moaning and wanting to curse out the game that they are wanting to play so bad. Unfortunately for you, I have a news flash. This is going to happen and it's going to continue to happen because unfortunately, despite what we think we know, we don't know how to code how these developers know how to code. We don't know what they have to do once a game is released in order to get the multiplayer portion of the game running. There are so many different sorts of networks that they have to encounter and that they have to build around, and unfortunately not every single game is the same, because if it is, all we have to do is go find one game that is running just fine and use that code. It doesn't work like that. And I also did have a conversation with a friend who we talked about this issue, and one of the things that he did say is, you know, you could always beta test for this stuff to try to cut down the issues, or beta test to make it better, haha. And yes, you could. You could definitely do a beta test for it, and it could probably cut down with some of the issues. However, I don't think that it's going to cut down on all of the issues. How often do you see a game that is beta tested, and then later on, whenever the game is released, many more people are playing the game than those that beta tested it, and they are encountering all of these issues that they didn't have when the beta was going on. And I hate having to tell gamers to wait it out, but unfortunately right now, these are the things that we're going to have to learn to deal with multiplayer portions of games. Whenever they test them out in the small scale, it doesn't always translate to the same thing once it gets to the larger scale. The best thing that you could do is let the developer know, hey, these are the things that I am encountering. I don't like it. This needs to be fixed. That is the best route in order to get these games working at its optimal performance, is by telling developers and then seeing how do the developers respond to all of these issues going at hand. Do they sit on their ass, or do they quickly hop on it to try to fix these issues? But overall, I think that the best recommendation is, if you want to buy a game for the multiplayer portion of the game, maybe you should wait and see, is it working? Is it going to be working within a relative time versus whenever you purchase it? Or is it going to be something that's going to take months on end in order to fix? In that aspect, we're looking at the difference between 343 with the Halo Master Chief Collection versus Evolution Studios with Drive Club. As gamers in this kind of industry, I do believe that it is our responsibility as consumers, as gamers, to help the developers in the aspect of trying to continue to make optimal games working at optimal performance. They can't do it alone. As much as we want to believe that they should have everything working perfectly, it's just not going to happen. They're going to need our feedback. They're going to need our assessment. The issues that we're having, they need to know. That is our responsibility to let them know. And if you don't like how a developer responds to how these issues happen, the best way that you can combat that is to vote with your wallet by not supporting their game. And to me, I can look no further than to Rockstar about how they approached the multiplayer portion of the game for Grand Theft Auto 5. They knew that they weren't going to be able to keep up with the demand with the amount of people who purchased the game and the volume and the stability that would be needed in order to run Grand Theft Auto Online. Instead, they released the game as far as the multiplayer portion 2 weeks later. It still had its issues, but they worked through it. And I tip my hats off to developers who can do that. Transparency, open-ended honesty, and integrity for the consumer and the game. So I know I have the unpopular opinion and the unpopular stance here. Let me know what you think about all of these multiplayer issues in the game. Am I just cray-cray?
What are you doing? I'm with it. I'm hip.
Or is this something that actually has a little bit of bearing? Just let me know in the comment section below. I thank you for checking this out. Once again, happy gaming.
Zone A secure. All zones held. You have total control. Zone C lost. Well done. I could have used your talents in the field.